When it comes to movies or where there's a divide between critics and audiences, one example that comes to mind right away is Venom, the first film. Its critics score on Rotten Tomatoes is low. The audience score is quite a good amount higher. Now, in this case specifically, I actually understand why there's a divide between critics and audiences. Because it seems to me like audiences, general average people, in a good amount of cases, are saying, I like the movie because there's entertainment value to it. I like the dynamic between Eddie Brock and the symbiote. There's fun action. The movie is overall is has lighthearted moments, and yet it also has scary moments as well. And I like that Venom is not a traditional black and white hero. It's more of an anti-hero. So for all those reasons, I think the movie's good. But then critics have a different mindset. They are looking at the film, seeing, okay, sure, there's some positives to it, but the story and storytelling has a lot of problems. And I think that's perfectly valid as well, honestly, because if you just think about it for a moment, the way the movie has the symbiote get from the place that it crashes on Earth to where Eddie Brock is, it's pretty stupid, pretty overly complicated. The filmmakers here could have had the symbiote get to Eddie Brock in a simpler, more natural way that doesn't feel as contrived. There's a whole set of circumstances that has to happen for Eddie Brock to get to the symbiote, and it doesn't feel natural. Like the symbiote taking months to get to where Eddie Brock is, and then the fact that Eddie looks through Anne's email, which, yeah, was not really the right thing to do, but it was right of him to try to expose Carlton Drake for what he was doing. So the fact that others are criticizing him for trying to expose Carlton Drake, that doesn't really add up. But Eddie looks through Anne's email, he sees something about people being experimented on, goes to investigate, that's understandable. And then Anne's mad at him. And again, yeah, what Eddie did looking through her mail without her being there wasn't exactly right, but ultimately is a good thing for Eddie to try to find the truth. So once again, that this feels contrived. And then I think the final battle is just an absolute visual mess. So I think if you just look at the movie, there's some pretty obvious flaws here. So in this case, I think it's understandable why there's a divide between critics and audiences. It's a divide between the movie's entertaining versus the movie's messy. I can totally see both sides.